Matt, the fixtures have been released for next season and we open here against Bradford City. It'll be nice to have the fans back, and what a great game to start as well.
Yeah, tough one to start with. Big club, big expectation on them this season. Obviously, Derek Adams has left his role at Morecambe, having got promoted with them in terms of getting to League One. To do the same at Bradford, so certainly a lot of pressure in relation to where they are and where they hope to be. But again, we're going to go in with hopefully an expectation that we can challenge these big clubs at this level.
And you actually look at our following two home fixtures after that: 21st of August against Bristol Rovers and the 4th of September against Forest Green Rovers. In terms of crowd and atmosphere, those two games are going to be...
Yeah, you put those three home games together, you hope that there's away fans, and you hope that our fans are here in full capacity. So fingers crossed in relation to that, but only time will tell, and obviously safety measures have to come first and foremost. But you can imagine those fixtures with a full house, and all teams who you expect to be there or thereabouts, and we've just got to make sure that we're competitive in those fixtures.
Boxing Day and Christmas time is of course always an exciting time. Swindon at home on Boxing Day, unless you see Pierce Sweeney back as well.
Oh, it'd be great to see Pierce. Club coming down from League One, obviously the team who sort of pipped us a couple of seasons ago in relation to promotion, obviously they've come back down into our level. Great to see them back in this league. Always good fixtures against Swindon. We always travel really well when we go and play at their place, and I'm sure they'll do the same when they come here. But the Christmas and festive period are fixtures we always look forward to, and Swindon on Boxing Day is certainly one of them.
And we travelled to Sutton United, newly promoted into the league on New Year's Day. I'm sure some fans have been delighted about a New Year's Day in London.
Yeah, some fans will, like we said, some fans will be delighted. Some fans will have to have an early night New Year's Eve, unfortunately. Or like one of them just said to me, go all the way through and keep drinking. So they'll have to get their plans in place in relation to that. But a ground we've certainly not been to in recent times. So a new experience in relation to travelling to Sutton. Full credit to them in terms of what they achieved last season in the National League. But like I said, a lot of games over in quick succession over that period. So the squad will have to be utilised and have to be strong at that stage. But you hope to going into January in the right positions.
Of course, when you're at Exeter City, every away game seems to be a long trip, but two quite long ones quite early on. Barrow, which is on a Tuesday night, thankfully in August, and then Hartlepool as well in September. So fingers crossed, if there's snow in August, we'll be down.
Fingers crossed there's no reasons for those games to get called off. Obviously we had that experience last season, which you felt as much as we did in terms of the travelling for nothing. But long distances, it's part and parcel of working for Exeter City and playing or managing Exeter City is those long journeys. We've got to make sure that they don't take the toll too much on this group of players. We feel this season will be totally different in terms of the demands and the physical demands in terms of Saturday, Tuesday, and the toll it took out of that group last season. So certainly to get some of those longer ones out of the way, so to speak, early on in the season is pleasing, and hopefully there's not too many build up towards the end of the season.
And to end the season at home on the last day as well against a Port Vale side that have recruited strongly and I expect will probably be up there at the end of the season. Yeah,
I mean, we probably speak about the majority of the league in terms of that expectancy of where they think they'll finish in terms of their strength this season. We've got to make sure we're in the right position. We were close, but not close enough come the end of this season. And that last game of the season at home to Barrow ended in not a drab affair, but going in at half time we were in the playoffs, and then obviously coming off the pitch at the end of the game was a hard moment to take and a difficult feeling. And then obviously the presentations after the game, they just weren't the same without the fans here. So like I say, we hope this season will be totally different in so many different ways, but only time will tell in relation to that. And that Port Vale game feels a long way away at this moment in time, and there's going to be not a grueling 6 weeks, but a hard working 6 weeks to come in relation to preparing the team for the rigours of the season.
And regardless of who we play and when, the most important thing is that all going well. That big bank behind you will be
fingers crossed. The signs are good. Was it the England-Germany game in a 10 days time or whatever that is, a week's time, with possibly 65,000 people there. Hopefully that bodes well for what's to come in the next 4 or 5 weeks after that in relation to getting people back in these seats alongside us here. We've missed them. Hopefully they've missed it. Hopefully they're sick and tired of not doing anything on a Saturday afternoon, and we need them back. And then it's time this club got their fans back in the stands, but also not just ourselves throughout the football pyramid, I suppose, all levels downwards, and we hope that'll be a really positive aspect in relation to this season.
Of course, we've had lots of extensive renovations of the pitch going on over the summer. I think the work Chaz has done has been superb, and we can see already that it's going to be a really good surface for next season.
He's been a superstar of the off-season, hasn't he? Those videos have kept us all going in the off-season. Great updates, but a great insight into what it takes to produce hopefully a good playing surface. You only got to look over my shoulder and look behind me in terms of where the pitch is at now, and we're really looking forward to what it looks like in another 6 weeks' time. It's growing really well. It feels a firm surface. Obviously, the investment in the new type of pitch with the fibres, so to speak, and the grass knitting around in that, but much more sand-based. It's for a reason, for hopefully to be able to play attractive football throughout the season, as opposed to just at the start and the end of the season. So we know how we've suffered the last couple of seasons, and probably suffered for a long period of time in terms of what it's done to the season and how it's sort of curtailed what we can and can't do in those home fixtures. And hopefully there'll become a stage where this surface will keep getting invested in as well. Season after season, keep putting those fibres back in, keep improving it for the longevity of the club. And like I say, when those fans do come back in, it'd be great to see this pitch looking as best it possibly can.
In terms of transfers, we've seen one in Josh Coley and Scott Brown in that goalkeeper role as well. I'm sure the fans are quite eager to see some new faces soon. How's the recruitment process going?
Yeah, really good. Look, we signed 2 more. They'll get announced hopefully on Monday, in terms of moving closer to that 1st of July marker, so to speak. And this week's the week where everything starts to move. Players get more twitchy because they've not got anywhere to be next week when pre-season starts. Obviously, we're back in on the 28th, so we're back in on Monday. And things start to move. It seems to be a little bit slow this year, but only slow in relation to the top players, which we're looking to bring to this football club. I can't hide the fact we've missed out on some of those prospects and some of those targets, but we've actually missed out having been able to put in good offers in front of these players, which is something we've not been able to do for a number of seasons at this football club. So I'm really positive where we are at the moment. I know exactly where we need to be in 6 weeks' time, but we've got to be patient as well, because some of these players aren't available right now. They might be available a couple of weeks into pre-season. Some players will be under contract at League One and Championship clubs, and we've just got to be mindful of where we want to get to, but we certainly can't rush that process, and we can't block anyone's pathways.